Hey everyone, my name is Andrew Davis, and you're watching Conversations in Pop Culture. And yes, I am Scandalous Like an Ashley. And I just want to remind everybody that I do not have any sponsors for the month of August or September. But if you would like to support my show and everything that I do run a nice little eBay store called Pop Anime Comics Collectibles. And I do sell a lot of cards and comics and a bunch of cool stuff. So if you're looking for some really cool comics, some other cool cards, rare books, all that stuff, I got you covered. But enough about that because I have with me Barbie Sub, so who's a
Hi.
cosplayer and some other stuff. And yeah, so welcome to the show.
Hey, hi, hello, howdy.
No, I'm excited to have you on. I'm excited to have you on, and obviously you've done a lot of stuff. We're going to talk a lot about your cosplay stuff, but why don't you kind of introduce who you are? Because there's people who know who you are, there's people who don't know who you are, there's people who are going to want to know who you are. And my friend, when I showed
You
them
guys
your
want to
pictures,
know? You want to know?
so
My
go
name
right
is
ahead.
Barbie. I'm a content creator. I'm really into cosplaying. I started officially about a year ago. My addiction is going to cons. I've been to almost 10 this year. I have 5 more planned. Usually I go, I'm guesting or helping out as a booth, and I do nerd burlesque, usually with a group called Otaku Cabaret.
Alrighty. So we're gonna talk all about this, but obviously I am curious how you got into cosplay because if you're kind of brand new to the scene, I mean everybody has a way they got into cosplay, their first cosplay. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's a horror story. But how did you get into this whole thing and even your first one and all that stuff? Because that's kind of what I think everybody wants to know is the first one.
My origin story. I'm an OG nerd. I've always been the nerdy weird girl. I wasn't doing the Naruto run, but I was definitely like Moon Prism Power and singing intros in the hallway, just reading just mangas and like, oh, my boyfriend is Howl and my boyfriend is Beast Boy. Just nothing normal, nothing normal about me. But I'm second generation nerd. My mom's a nerd, so I got it from her.
This is so. Let me ask you this, in which that, and I'm not going to ask you your age, but I'm going to ask it in a unique way. What generation of Pokemon did you come into? I mean, this is gonna figure out where we're at, what nerd. Because let me explain. Let me explain the question, right? So
Hmm.
I was born in '93, so I was
Hmm.
never shoved into a locker. But there got a point where it's like everybody was into Pokemon and everybody left, but I was still into it, and I was like an
Yeah,
anime guy wearing cool anime T-shirts in middle school and high school,
yeah.
and didn't get shoved into a locker, but definitely was questioned, for lack of a better word here. And now everybody's watching anime. Pokemon's cool again. Magic the Gathering's awesome. I'm into sports. It's a weird combination, but that's the reason why I asked that question because if you're like an OG nerd, you know, if you were, I'm 31, so if you're like 22, yeah, our experiences are very different.
Yeah.
If you're 40, our experiences are also very different.
Lower than 40.
But like, you know why I asked the question the way I asked the question, right?
Yes, yes. No, I remember in fourth grade I wasn't allowed to collect Pokemon cards, but I remember in fourth grade we were doing that. Here, it's here, perfect. Here, 1 second. No, dang it! I had a Game Boy Color, and I forgot to let somebody borrow it because it had a Pokemon game in it. Well, that would have definitely showed you my age. I had like the OG.
I have a Pokemon Red level 100 Charizard and a level 100 Blastoise. Beat the
That's
Elite Four like 46 times.
Yeah, no, I just love it. And I actually yesterday or last night I got a new tattoo, and my tattoo is Sailor Moon Psyduck. It
Oh my god.
looks so
I
cool.
have no words.
I had to. My favorite Pokemon are Snorlax and Psyduck. I relate to them very much. And Jigglypuff because they're cute and they're like Jigglypuff, and then you fall asleep and they draw over your face like a little Sour Patch Kid.
I had a professor who used to call me Psyduck every time she saw me. So I'm like, yeah, I'm a big Pokemon fan.
Did you give him headaches or just really like Pokemon?
What would you say?
So did you give him headaches too, or you just knew you like Pokemon?
No. We had to do like fun facts, and I'm just like, yeah, I like Pokemon, guys. Like, big Pokemon fan. I'm a anime and I love Pokemon. And it was great. It was great. And so like, she was just like, okay, Psyduck, and I was like, it was great.
Sigh, yes.
But I still am curious though about your origin story because obviously with cosplay, bringing it all the way back, as much as I love Pokemon, all
Yes, yes.
I'm on a Pokemon drive right now. By the way, everybody, in case anybody didn't
That's
know
why I'm
that.
stuffy today.
So many things I could say. We're going to talk about Pokemon, I promise. But what was your first cosplay? Because I think that's also what people want to know.
Yes, yes. My first cosplay was Sailor Moon. For my graduation gift, my grandma, who's not into anime at all, got it for me, and I still have it. And it's like 10 years later, and it still fits. So yay. But no, anything Sailor Moon, perfect.
So let's actually talk about that. So I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I hate to assume, but was it a pre-made costume or like the Sailor Moon costume that was like one piece?
It was like the generic 2014, anime Amazon like outfit, just all one little piece with the gloves, the cloth crown, just real simple,
And
real
so
cheap.
so what was that like? Because and the reason why I bring this up and I ask this is that obviously getting a cosplay off the shelf, if you just want to have a good time at a con and go and be your character is fine. And also understanding how to, wear that and utilize that
Mhm.
versus also building a cosplay because those are
Yeah.
two completely
Oh my,
different.
it's two different experiences.
And there's nothing wrong with either one of
No,
them because
at all.
somebody just wants to have a good time.
Yeah.
Sometimes buying something for $120 is cheaper than making it.
Yes. No, literally. Yes, it's so true.
So what was that like? Because also it's the idea that it's your first one, right? And you don't know if you're gonna like cosplaying, and you just want to probably had a good time when
Well,
you
I
wore it.
knew. I knew I was gonna look cosplaying. I mean, I've always loved dressing up in general, so it just made sense to be my favorite hero. Like, why not? I'm like, Grandma, I need this outfit. I need this outfit so bad. She's like, what is this? I don't understand. I'm like, please, 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 please. I don't ask for much. I just need this cosplay so bad. And when I got it, I wore the entire day, and I just pranced around the house. And I'm like, I'm Sailor Moon. I am Sailor Moon. Yes, it's real. You get like, because sometimes you just want to appreciate the character, and then sometimes you just want to put on the persona and act out and just really honor your favorite people or your favorite characters. And I'm very Isaki coded, very hungry all the time, very sleepy, crybaby, clumsy. That's me.
So to even go further into that though, because obviously you kind of caught the bug, right?
Yeah.
With that one. And so what was even that like? Because you obviously bought a cosplay, but then how did that even, I guess, progress? Because, I know people who have cosplayed a few times and they grow out of it. I cosplayed a few times and then I grew out of it. It's not for me. It
I
doesn't work.
understand.
It just doesn't work. I'm not the cosplay type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you. I'm a rough and tumble in the weeds guy, and I am not meant to cosplay. It became very evident very quickly. But
We have the
what
worker
was
ants. We have the warrior ants.
that is true. That is true. I am a worker ant for sure. I understand my place in society. It's all right. I'm perfectly fine. Um, it's the thing. I don't know if you know about male bees, right? In a hive.
Mhm.
Male worker bees have a 60-day lifespan. It's crazy. It's
I
crazy.
did not know that actually.
What'd you say? I know you froze.
So I didn't know that. That's kind of crazy.
So what it is that a male bee has a 60-day lifespan, and they're like the workers, and then after they die, they just like collapse in the hive, and then the females just the new worker bees, the males and the females just push them out off the hive, and then they move on to the next ones. It's so messed up. It's like.
So like, anyways.
So I understand that I have a
Well, that's
60-day
crazy.
lifespan with my cosplay. I'm more than happy to admit it, and I sleep fine at night. But anyhow, what was this like? Because obviously you caught the bug, and then like how did it evolve from there? Because that's
Yes.
also
I
the
mean, if you
interesting
look
part
at
too.
my little thing here. My name is Barbie. So of course I'm gonna love. I can't find my little name. Of course I love dressing up. That's just it. Just makes sense to me. Any excuse to dress up. Anime, cartoons, shows, movies. I do. I love pop culture. I am. I was raised on the internet. I'm very ego coded. I spent more time inside than outside for sure. And I just. But now I'm going outside. I'm taking my little hobbies and I'm outside of my hobbies. I'm outside cosplaying and meeting other nerds, and it's just so fun.
Yeah,
Going to a con and you just like say as for DreamCon. For DreamCon, I had a Sanji from One Piece outfit. And then seeing everybody else just from One Piece at the con, I'm like, hey Luffy, hey Brooke, and it's just like we're family. We're in the same, pirate crew. It's a nice feeling.
So many things I could say that too. But I want to table that for a sec because I do want to dive
Okay.
into a little bit more inside baseball because obviously you grew out of buying a cosplay and getting off the shelf to modifying it to making it to piecing it together. And I don't think it's a secret in cosplay. And I ask every cosplayer I've on the same exact thing is that, balancing it all out because I don't think it's a secret that cosplay can be very, very expensive and it is an expensive hobby. It is not the most expensive hobby. I can assure you that card
No,
collecting is way
that's
more
being a
expensive.
furry. It's a hobby.
I mean, I'll just say card collecting is way more expensive than cosplay. It is way more expensive than cosplay. I know because I'm a card collector, and if people knew how much money in the last year I spent on cards, they'd be like, "Okay, man, you have a problem." But what is that like for you? All jokes aside, on my end, to figure out the balance of that because cost of materials are expensive, wigs are expensive, alternatives to materials are expensive, time is expensive. I mean, I think people forget that,
Mhm.
if it's going to take you 30 hours to piece them
Everything
together.
is so expensive. Someone please sponsor me. Please sponsor me. It is not cheap. It is not cheap at all. One thing that I am learning is that I don't have to buy a new cosplay for every event. It's okay to repeat a cosplay, to tweak it, to update it, to just make it more, customizable. That's fine. I don't have to go out every time and start over. That's okay. And people don't really care if you wear the same cosplay every time. They're gonna be like, weren't you Wolverine the last 3 times? No one's really checking for that.
That's so interesting. So let me ask this because that's actually really interesting because obviously I cycle through content. So I release on my YouTube stuff where I have, a cycle of 15 or 20 pieces of micro content that I've cut up out of interviews. But, it's not the same content over and over every 20 days. It's obviously from the
Right.
same interview. But what I figured out is that so I'm providing similar content. But what is that like? Because obviously, when you're guesting at a convention, you want to bring something potentially new or hasn't been seen, but you're also a
Right.
brand new cosplayer. So you don't have 20 cosplays built or developed yet. And
No.
so is that like
No.
figured out? Or is it just one of those things saying, hey, every year I'm adding 5 in, and you're going to get to a point where you now have 20. And when you do 5, 6, 8 cons, there's enough of a cycle, because I think that's a really complicated issue,
Yeah.
right? Because you want to give something new and a reason so that if A, people come back to you and they went to con A and then 4 weeks later they're at con B, they're seeing something new, but you also want to say, hey, look, I'm not wearing this cosplay to this convention because I'm saving it for this one, but figuring that out, because and I don't know if you even thought about that, because
I'm a Barbie. I do. Of course. And it's good to cycle out. Like what I wear to regular cons and what I wear to 18 plus cons are not the same. So that helps me, you know, have that diversity. But also, it's okay to have your.
I would hope so. What you wear to an 18 plus con is definitely not what you wear to a family friendly one. I would hope
completely different outfits.
I would hope so. I mean,
yes, and I want to be perma-banned from any cons or scare anybody. But it's okay to have statement cosplays, like iconic pieces. Like if you have like I have friends who are known for their Spider-Man cosplays. They do other stuff, but Spider-Man and Gone from Hunter x Hunter, those are their go-tos no matter what. And so they're out there like, oh my gosh, I know you. I've seen you before. And it works out because they have that outfit, they have that wig, they have that piece, that prop.
So let's even talk about
for Dragon Con this weekend. I will be Storm, but I have whole new outfits. I did You said, let's see what?
Oh no. I was letting you finish. Sorry.
Yes. Yes. So I was saying that for DreamCon, for Dragon Con, I'll be Storm, different variants, and then I had a con last week, and it was a water park con. So I was Storm, but it was all bikinis and cover-ups. So it's just it's easy to kind of switch it up, but still be your favorite characters. And it's okay to be like a casual cosplay. I like those a lot, actually.
Yeah, so let's dive into some of your cosplays, because obviously you've done some of this. You've done Starfire.
Yes.
And so I love Starfire. I have a DC Presents number 26 and a high grade, which is a very, very desirable book. Starfire's first appearance. For those who don't know the book,
she's perfect.
So what's the story behind that? Because Starfire is interesting, and I'm a big Starfire fan. I'm a big Teen Titans fan, to be honest.
Yes. I love Teen Titans. I love everybody in Teen Titans minus Robin. Robin's okay. He's like my least favorite. He's my least favorite. But since the beginning of time, me and Beast Boy have been dating, and I love him very much. But no, all the comics, I've always been into the comics. I think that comic Starfire is perfect. She's gorgeous. I would love to do like a big fiery wig and like her older comic outfit. Like she just looks amazing. Teen Titans Starfire is great too. I love aliens, so I love her character. And it took me a while to get into Teen Titans Go, but I like Fire too. I had to grow into it. But the outfit is nice. She has a couple 18 plus outfits that are online, and I'm like, I gotta collect them all. I gotta get them all. I need the bodysuits. I need the two pieces. I need everything.
So let's actually talk about that too, because obviously I don't think you've done necessarily an 18 plus Starfire. Starfire could be an 18 character easily in a lot of ways. But I mean, so let me ask this then, because I don't know what constitutes an 18 plus cosplay. I mean, obviously, minus pasties, you know, if you're at an 18 plus con, there's probably going to be subtle nudity. There's also going to be more 18 plus products, but I don't know what makes a cosplay plus 18. And I asked that question because I think it's a genuine question, right? Because Is it that the character is in a bikini? Because I don't think a bikini should constitute a plus 18, but maybe it should. I
No,
don't know. So what
some
is that?
bikinis are kind of, yes. There's a lot of animes and shows and movies where the characters' outfits are obviously not for family cons. This is your chance. Like,
Let,
Yurichi's for
let
Bleach
me ask
outfit.
this.
Yes.
What were you saying? What were you saying? I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Like there's a lot of like Yurichi from Bleach, her like when she's in her cat phase, and it's like milky stripe. Like she's barely even dressed. A lot of these cosplays, a lot of these animes, they're basically naked, and this is our chance to be naked too, and honor these naked people. That's the quickest answer. We just want to be naked, like our favorite people, and we can do it here.
I get that, and I understand it. I understand it. I mean, where I'm going with this, I guess, is that because I have seen things that have been borderline at a con that wasn't an 18 plus con. I've been in 18 plus panels. Those are always fun.
Those are real fun.
But also when I was in the con scene, a lot of what I mean, I'm in bed at 9 o'clock. Like I have a hotel room, and like I'm not interested in going. But you know what it is? I'm an early morning guy. I wake up at like 6. I like maybe doing a little bit in the gym when nobody's around, and then I like going and having a full day at the con and being well rested. There's a reason why I don't room or I maybe, but I enjoy actually not partying and being up till 4 in the morning. And I'm an odd person. I get it, right? But not the point here. But like, I think it's interesting because I get that not a bunch of characters are not really ready, in which they can't be fully expressed. But like, I don't know because again, I'm not in this scene, and that's what I think is so interesting is that you just want to be more promiscuous, for lack of a better word.
One reason, but the biggest reason, a lot of people don't like kids. They don't like kids around them. That's honestly, if you ask a lot of people at 18 plus cons, they will tell you right away they don't want kids there.
Terrible. That's terrible.
I
love
children. I didn't want to say it first, but that's the reason why people like 18 plus cons. There's no kids.
I mean, I get that I'm not saying I want to be around my niece all the time, but I love my niece. Like I love my niece, and I can't wait to have kids. It's gonna be a blast. Like, but I get it, right? I get that there's adult time, there's kid time, and that, but I also understand that I can put my kid in a timeout when I have one. I mean, on some trumped up charges, to be precise, being like, you're going into a 5-minute timeout, but I get it, but like I've never had that experience at a con, like where a kid was bothering me. So like, I don't know.
I haven't either.
It's bewildering. It's bewildering.
But that's actually a very big reason.
That's mind blowing. That's mind blowing to me. But I don't get it. But anyhow, not the point. Teach their own, right? I get the idea though that because I had somebody on who also does a bunch of 18 plus stuff, and what I've gotten, and I interview adult entertainers, and I get the idea that you could be more comfortable in certain circumstances. Because if I know there's no kid around and I could drop an F-bomb or I could say something that's a little bit more culture, I'm not so concerned that, you said the F word, right? You said fuck. Like, I'm not so concerned that somebody's going to go flip out on me. So I get that.
I think post-COVID, cons became party events. A lot of the time, people are spending the entire day and night. They're drunk. They're rocking around with their friends. They are doing whatever. We're twerking in the hallway. We're dancing on the stairs. Like, it's very college-y at these cons now. You haven't been in a while. But it's people want to have fun. They want to let loose. And they want no kids around them.
I can understand that. That actually makes more sense. But, like, no, I mean, I get it. But and maybe no, see, maybe the issue is that I haven't been to an anime con in a while. And the last con that was a Comic-Con. And I'm just getting a bunch of
different energy.
because a lot of it is just business, right? Because I run an
Right.
eBay store, so I'm getting signatures on a book. So I'm spending anywhere from $1,000 to
Right.
$4,000 to get stuff on a book. So it's straight
It's
up
not
business.
con. They're intention based.
And then I go home
Yes.
because my business is done. And then I go back to my
Right.
apartment or my hotel room and I legitly go in and figure out my spreadsheets, or I list what I just got signed up on eBay, right? So it's
Mhm.
a business trip. It's not a leisure trip. So maybe
Right.
that's why I don't get it, but I'm all
Yeah.
for it. I mean, I don't care what somebody does. I'm very much like, hey, if you want to be drunk at a convention and that's your thing, be my guest. I mean, but like that's just how I view it, is that I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but I don't, because I wouldn't, it's not my cup of tea. I'm very linear and I'm very boring.
You don't seem boring to me. If you're boring, then I'm boring too. I don't like that.
I'm very boring. Where we're like, I like going to a con. I like listening to a lecture, right? Like I like learning something about anime or talking about like Miyazaki or something. Like I don't want to be drunk at a convention. Like to me, it doesn't, like it's not my jam. Like I
Mhm.
want I want to talk about anime and I want to have a good time and I want to like vibe with people, but I'm not gonna go get drunk at a con.
Oh yeah, people are getting drunk and such.
That's so odd. I mean, it's whatever. So, but yeah, no, that's so interesting. But yeah, but yeah, so anyway, I want to talk about your pain cosplay too, because I like that one too.
Yeah. Yes. So, lore, backstory. I grew up very sheltered and religious, but my mom really loved anime. And every Saturday night, because church is a Sunday morning, she would do our hair before bed. And so she would watch Toonami, and it'd be Naruto, Bleach, One Piece. And she'd be like, close your eyes, you can't watch this. And I'm like, well, I'm getting my hair done at like 10, 11 o'clock at night. So Naruto is one of like my third watched animes and one of my favorites. And so a chance to be Pain, of course I'm going to do that. I mean, it's just fun. And I got to do a regular Pain, like regular Akatsuki robe. And then I did a burlesque performance. I got to be 18 plus Pain. And I had like the whip and everything. It's like, you will feel pain, you will know pain. It's
So
just
what
fun.
is
And
that
like
like?
everyone loved it. It was a very
So
big
yes,
hit.
so what is that like? Because obviously people love Naruto. Naruto is still
Yes.
relevant. People like attractive people, to say it nicely. To say it in the most unoffensive and politically correct way I could say it. People like gender bending characters,
Politically
and
correct. Yes.
then on top of that, people also like, taking characters and making them 18 plus. So what
Yes.
is that like for you? Because it's an interesting combination when you get to do a regular version of a cosplay, then get to do an
Yes.
18 plus version of that same cosplay and get both reactions, for lack of a better word.
They loved me. I had so many photos that day, so many videos, a couple spankings. It was fun. It was really
Ah.
fun. What I'm learning now is that if I wear certain cosplays, I'm gonna get a lot of attention. I gotta prepare for that. And there's certain days, like usually on Sundays, I'll dress like an anime merch, not in cosplay. So I have a one day to just be not as bothered and go through the artist alley and the exhibit hall and like hang out with my friends and not be like, hey, can I get a photo? Can I get a photo? Can I get a photo? Because I love it. But also I'm here to con. And you gotta have that balance because my first con was Kimochi Con. Oh, it's Kimochi Con now. It was called Waifu Expo. It's 18 plus. And my first day, I was Mako from it's an anime about clothes, and there's two sisters and scissors, and they're like basically naked in the
Kill la
clothing
Kill,
line. I'm having a blank on the name.
Kill la Kill, right?
Yes. Okay, so it was a group cosplay. I had my friend doing the sisters, and I was Mako. in a little bitty, like skimpy schoolgirl outfit, had the little dog. And the first day of the con, the first 4 hours I was there was 4 hours of photos. I did not get into the con at all. I did not make it through the doors of the con because it was photos, videos, people, content making. And I'm like, nobody warned me that I wouldn't go into the con my first day. This is kind of overwhelming. But now I know. I'm prepared.
So what is that like? Because and this is gonna, I think, lead into kind of where this is complicated. I think to some degree is that you want photos, and if both fans are taking pictures of you, and professionals or people who
Yes.
are photographers,
Yes. A
and
lot of that.
balancing that out, because there's media, and then you're getting attention, and then you're getting either on their feed or they're sending you the photos, and then you can post those
And
on
sometimes they don't. Sometimes you never see those photos ever again in your entire life. Ever, 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 ever.
But the hope is that, or the intention is that, hopefully, right?
Yes.
Whether the intention is met or not is up for debate, or if it comes to fruition. But what is that like? Because obviously there's, in my opinion, and I'll say the dirty word here, is there's a game being played with social media and a bunch of other components of saying, cool,
Yes.
how do I get photos? How do I get attention on Instagram? How do I grow? Who am I collabing with? All that is so goddamn fucking complicated. It is the essence of an interview, right? Without a doubt. No secrets here. Is that, if I'm interviewing a celebrity, there is no question that there's an exchange. Jimmy Kimmel doesn't have a celebrity on his show, or Stephen Colbert doesn't have a celebrity on his show for no good reason. It's that the celebrity brings something, and Stephen Colbert has an audience, and it's an exchange.
An exchange of goods.
So what is that like, though, to figure out even that balance? Because if there's a photographer who is taking photos of you, and then you get those photos and you post them on Instagram, clearly there's something that photographer wants. There's something you want.
Yes.
And then you want the followers on Instagram, for lack of a better word.
Yes. A lot of showcase, a lot of connections to be made at cons. And then showcasing, like you said, you need a photographer, you guys are now sharing your what is the word? You are now sharing your audience, which is a good thing to have. And you are getting more exposure. You are getting more art. Like me working with a photographer is great because now people can see me and my cosplays in an official setting. And they can have this because they're like, okay, it's showing, hey, they have a diversity in their models. This is their range in their shoots. And so it's a win-win all around. And I really like doing that. You just gotta be careful about who you trust at these cons, and make sure you get business cards and links and emails, and like follow back. Like give them yours and you get theirs, because a lot of stuff you can have the most fire content. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna get this one day and it's gonna be amazing, and the fans will love it, and you'll never see it ever again. And you're like, I gave my all.
So it's interesting that you mentioned trust, right? So obviously business is built on trust in a lot of ways. And I mean, there's trust in private deals. There's the eBay, which I primarily sell on, and the reason why I relate it back to eBay is that eBay acts as a trust broker, versus something like Kickstarter in the comic world, which is completely based on trust. That I get what I want and what I backed, and hopefully the system works well enough, because if it doesn't, people should get called out on it. But it doesn't always work that way. But what is that like when you're working with a photographer and you don't know that person? Because that's a real issue. And I hate to say it this way, but there's predatory practices in everything, and cosplay is no exception. And when you're dealing with models, and I know plenty of adult models who have been preyed upon, have been screwed.
It's so
what are you saying? I know.
One thing for me is I have no issues taking my own photos. So if I have somebody reach out to me and I don't have a friend or two that has worked with them, and I'm just gonna wait it out unless I really like their photography, and I'll reach out to their models on their page, and I'm like, hey, how was your experience? Like I do a lot of reviewing back and forth, and thankfully in this, because I live in the DFW area, but I do travel a lot to like Austin and Houston and for all these events. And so I have a group of friends in all these areas. We definitely like, hey girl, don't talk to him, or hey guys, he's a good guy. We definitely share our little books, our little black books, to make sure that we're all safe and making this good content.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense, but even still, I mean, there's plenty of people that I trusted that had good reviews, and then all of a sudden they don't, and then you're like, oh shit, like okay. It's weird in which that it doesn't happen too much in my world, but all of a sudden something goes south, and it's just like, oh shit, and it's never fun. But
it's ridiculous how many people will pursue a career just to be perverted.
There's an issue. There's an issue. I mean, I have no problem stating it.
Even in general, like in a lot of careers, people just have the wrong.
One of the things that I spoke with, because I interview a lot of male cosplayers, and I've had a few where we've had these conversations, and it's a very controversial topic. Where I had a friend where a bunch of male photographers wouldn't shoot him. He wouldn't shoot him, and I said to him, I said, that, I mean, I was joking. I said, oh, well, that's a little bit sexist, and he didn't get the joke initially. And then I said, but it also states something more about that photographer.
Mm-hmm.
It raises questions. It raises legitimate questions, and I have no problem stating it. The issue is that if a photographer won't shoot a male cosplayer, there is legitimate questions on why, if they just want to shoot cosplay. Now, Don Cross Photography shoots only females, but he's also building out a sexy adult lingerie type magazine, and it'd be a little weird if a guy was in there, but if Don Cross is shooting a male thing, or he has like a portrait and he's shooting a wedding and he only shot the bride, that would be weird too. But like, so like that's the point though, is that unless there's a really good reason, and this is what I think that the unspoken discussion in cosplay photography is that if a photographer will only shoot one gender, there's a problem.
Yeah, one gender or one body type, one type of like, it's just, you can tell. And even during correspondence,
I'll call it this way, and I'll state it. If they'll only shoot one type of person who has a certain skin color, let's call it what it is. In which
we all notice that kind of stuff.
So that happens. Now, if a photographer only shoots Naruto people, that's different.
That's totally different.
That's their thing, right? So, like, if I'm a fan and the only thing I care about at the con is Gundam cosplays, and I don't want to shoot you because you're paying from Naruto, that's just saying that's me being somewhat prejudiced.
Not for target audience. That's okay.
But that's different than somebody who doesn't want to shoot somebody who's black.
Yes.
And I've seen it, and I'm sure you've seen it too.
Cosplayers who have a certain type of people they'll collab with, and only those people. You're like, oh, okay, noted, and you just keep it pushing.
So I think it's so interesting, and then even to go further into this too, because obviously you've done some over 18 stuff. You worked with a bunch of people. There's a particular video that I thoroughly enjoyed, and I was with my friends last night. I think it was with little baby Ashley.
Yes.
I think it was with her, or it might have been. I know you've done stuff with Heavenly Bunny too, but
yes.
I think the little baby Ashley thing is really, really interesting. And
when we're sitting on somebody and we're making out, or is it somebody where I'm on her lap with somebody else and we're like?
It's the one that you're making out. And then I was with my friends last night after we saw a Studio Ghibli film, and I'm like, oh, I'm interviewing this person during night, and then I just said you're gonna say, oh damn, after I showed this, and then I said it's like, oh damn. I'm like, This is gonna be an interesting interview. And so what's the story with that? Because I enjoyed that. I am a
Yes.
heterosexual male. I want to make that crystal clear. I appreciated that very much. I have no problem stating that, and I enjoyed
I
that.
love kissing cutie pies. I can't help it. I can't help it. I do. I don't know. The cons just you're at 18 plus con, and you see all the cuties, and they're like, "You're cute," and you're like, "You're cute." Now what? The energy's in the air. But now, that was our first con together. And we did our matching cosplays together, and we had a lot. We had a crowd around us for that. That was a 3 hour day. That was the day we did not go to the con because we had a whole crowd around us, and we were trapped, literally trapped. We liked it to a degree. We were trapped in the corner, and there was at least 30 or 40 men around us with their cameras out, like just
I'm sure they were the victim. I'm
just
sure.
watching us do literally anything, and we're doing literally anything, and we have no other footage proof. All those men, all those photographers, and I have nothing.
So there's so many things I could say. I mean, again, I enjoy that clip. I really enjoy that. I
It's
think
cute. It's really cute.
I think it's something. And I mean, again, I'm a heterosexual normal male, so it'd be really odd if I didn't enjoy it.
It's a good video. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then the person sitting under us, a lucky duck. Very lucky duck.
So what is that like though? Because obviously you're in an 18 plus con.
Mhm.
You're doing that. Obviously that video has a lot of draw to it. And we
Mhm.
go back to the whole social media thing where, I don't even I don't it's weird because that's not really 18 plus, right? But it's also not like what I mean.
Okay, for reference, guys, there is a man laying under us flat. She is sitting on his hips. I am sitting on his face, and we are making out in the middle. This is what he's.
What I mean by this is that there's no nudity, there's nothing like
That
that.
is true. There was no nudity.
So, but it's adult, but
Mhm.
it's not adult in the same, I guess, position where it's a softcore porn, right?
Yeah, it was getting there.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. I mean, there's like 15 things I could say now. Yeah, I'm choosing not to say them. It's the unspoken rule. I don't think I need to say the quiet part aloud. If I need to, please let me know. At any time, anybody. But the point I'm getting at here is that that's still though adult, and that's what I think is so interesting about that clip though, because you put that on Instagram. I know exactly where it's going. I know the exact draw. I know the exact demographic, and I know that thing got you at least 1,000 followers.
Oh
On
yeah,
Instagram.
no,
I know
it just
easy.
Yes, I got it. So when I've had my Instagram for over 10 years now. Before last year, the last 6 years, my account was on private. So I was just doing stuff and nobody knew about it. That weekend of KimochiCon, I had like maybe 2,600 followers, and I left with like 3,500 followers from just those 3 days.
The reason why I know this is that I have a clip of Bella Rockefeller talking about session girls, session wrestling, and that clip has 16,000 views. Because Bella looks very, very attractive. She speaks well, and the thing she was talking about is obviously a niche, and it is a quote unquote desire of people. To put it nicely without me getting myself into too much trouble. And I know that it algorithm targets, right?
Mhm.
And that's why I bring this up because all of a sudden that clip comes out, you're doing stuff at this con, there's photos of you, and it's algorithm targeting. And that's what I think is missed here with all of this by a lot of people is that when you start algorithm targeting in cosplay, I think it's so interesting because a photo can get you all the way up to 1,400 or
At the
14,000.
right time, at the right time, the weekend, like earlier this month was Anime New York City, but in July it was Anime Expo in LA. That's where all the celebrities were, all the big name cosplayers and videographers. That weekend, if you were there, you made content immediately, you posted it immediately because you knew everyone was checking the hashtag, everyone was scared of the store, everyone was looking at, everyone was active. That was the perfect time to showcase anything, not even related to cosplay. If you posted at that time, you were being seen.
Because I mean, I was having this conversation with my guest, Paradox Cosplay. I don't know if you know her.
Mm-hmm.
And
No,
we were talking about the position of where she's like, oh, I think it's creation to some degree. And I said, I think it's 80% social media cosplay, especially on a professional level. It's 80% right now, in which that I don't spend. So I spend maybe 40% on content creation and 60% on social media. And that's 60% on social media or the back end. It's not all 60% social media, but it's also cutting up content. It's targeting specific clips out of an interview. It's also the YouTube community stuff. It's also making sure that when that thing is released, that a short's there that ties them out to the YouTube community thing, and then that thing's ready for Instagram and hashtags and all sorts of shit. That
mm-hmm.
I used to spend 80% on content creation, and now I spend 40%. And I've actually cut down my content creation by 50%. And I've spent more time now on the back end, and I've legitly quadrupled my output on viewership, which tells
Okay.
me exactly that it's no longer if you create 7 cosplays, but you know how to market it and tag it and push it out, and you have a lot of photos and the right stuff surrounding it, you're going to
Yeah.
do better than you created 14. And so that's why this video I think is so important. I think it's almost a master class to some degree and a case study because again, you kissing her, it naturally gets attention.
Yes. I had a great time.
And I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would trade places
Yes.
with her or you. I'm sure of it. I have no problem saying that because it's probably a fact. So there we go.
Like I just know from the moment that I walk the con, from the moment that I leave, I'm having a great time. I'm enjoying myself with my friends, and I'm truly happy. And so I love that me being happy makes other happy too. Like meeting fans or matching cosplays or just interacting with other people. It's good energy to me. So I'm like, oh, you like that? I'm having fun too. Yay, yay, yay! Happy, happy, happy.
I'm sure that there was more thoughts than that. But anyhow,
Oh, no.
I'm sure of it. Oh man, I'm gonna just stop. I'm just gonna stop. Before again, I'm not saying the quiet part aloud. I'm not. We all know where I'm going with this, and I
No,
don't.
no, no.
I mean, my interview on Tuesday is gonna get me a strike on YouTube. This interview might get me a strike, and without a doubt, my interview on September 7th is gonna get me a strike on YouTube. So
No,
I am
no.
fully understanding
I'm a
that.
good apple. We're gonna be okay. We're not gonna.
I'm already on a warning, so it's all right. I haven't
Yes,
gotten a script yet.
I'm more wanting with Instagram. That's also my reach could be a lot further, but Instagram has been cracking down on everything, and a lot of times I'm not recommending
It's
it.
not just Instagram, right? I mean, you know what's going on,
Because
right?
it's all connected. They're all.
So my eBay business, I don't sell nude comic books.
Mm,
Nude comic books are a little bit more pricey, but they're not ultra more pricey. You know, maybe it's like $15 more, and then you could sell them for a lot more. But eBay cracks down on that, and then I get a 3 to 7 day suspension, and that's anywhere from $600 to $1,500 a week.
yeah, that's
It's a lot of money when you're not when you're pulling in less than 100,000. That's a lot of money every single week
right.
that you now. So I can still sell, but I can't add new merch, and that sucks because when you have turnover and you're selling like 14
Exactly.
items,
No.
no, not 14 items. When you're selling 100 items a week, and now I can't list 100 new items, and then my competitors can jump on me, I'm fucked. So I have to make a decision that basically says I can't sell certain products. And then what's going on with Kickstarters and comics is that they're cracking down because their payment processors don't like this stuff. And there's
Yeah,
a lot of crazier shit going on where right now, I don't know if Pornhub is down in Texas. And
it
the
has.
reason why I bring that
I've heard. I don't use Pornhub, so but I've heard.
I wasn't implying. I was not implying. Not
It's like a
what's going
halo
on?
above my head.
It's all right. It's all right. I view you as an angel. You're a saint. Any sorry thing I could say, but the point I'm making is that there is very much a shift in society cracking
Yes.
down on adult content, or at least limiting the scope of it. And
Yeah.
I don't think that it's necessarily bad to put a gate and make it a little bit more difficult, but at the same time, it's also being very draconian. And so, like, what is that like for you to figure that out? Because the last thing you want to do is have your Instagram account shut down.
Yeah. Like I have a lot of other friends who monetize off Instagram, and anytime they're not recommended, they lose a lot of money, and it really messes up what they're doing. Thankfully, I'm not there yet on Instagram. I'm just a regular girl. I'm just a girl. But it's frustrating when you have content you want to do or collabs. I'm not right now. I cannot do collabs. So there's people who want to do stuff with me, and they can't even tag me correctly. So I'm missing out on exposure because I'm banned for certain limitations on Instagram. And it's like, no, I'm a good noodle, I promise. But then you look on Instagram and you see even like last night I was looking at Instagram and this girl, she's like in an outfit and real quick, like a quick pause, and she's completely naked, like completely naked, and you can see everything, and it's like for like half a second, and then she's dressed again, and I'm like,
It's interesting. It's interesting, right? Because it's so tricky, and this is the unfortunate position that I have is that it's like I don't like having products that could put me at risk.
right,
It's not worth it, and figuring out that balance, because I get that over 18, and it makes sense that once a con is over 18, everybody's carted at the door, and if you're under 18, you can't come in. That makes sense. It's kind of like a bar, right? If you're not
right,
21, you can't be in the bar. Makes complete sense.
yes,
I mean, obviously there's ways around that, but
right,
legally,
yes,
um,
legally,
but and it becomes almost like a safe bubble, but like it's so tricky. So like, I don't know how you deal with it, because there's, I mean, I put up a post on Instagram that wasn't nudity, and Instagram said this might be pushed out to less people because some people might find it offensive, and I put it up
yeah.
anyway.
It's just tough. Even my cosplays, I gotta be careful, like cosplay poses and angles and this, because even you just they're just so picky and tricky. And I've had so many warnings that I'm just scared that I'm just one story away from not having an Instagram. And there's people you can pay to get your Instagram back, but I don't got that kind of money, and they be charging like real money.
That's wild. I mean, I had my Instagram hacked. That was terrifying. That was upsetting.
Like my friend had a couple lost her account last week, and she had over 50,000 followers. And the guy was like, "Yeah, $1,000, and I get your account back." But I had a friend who had 1 million followers on Instagram, and he told her I think 3,500 to get her account back.
That's a wild. I mean, I'm in the wrong business.
She gets more money than that from her Instagram. So he knows that. He's like, "You want your money or not?"
I'm in the wrong business now.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm in the really wrong business. I should figure out how to do this. It's probably not even that hard to do it. Honestly, I should learn how to do this, and then I should just make the video how to do it for free, just to screw all those people. I would greatly appreciate.
Pocket just in case. Please do that, and I'll refer you to people.
Oh man, I'll just make the video on how to do it for free. It'll be so much fun. It's just like to screw people over. Oh man.
Yeah, that too. Because oh my gosh,
I'm a troll. I'm a troll in so many ways. But anyway, no, I find this interesting because again, I'm right now in a YouTube warning, right? Because of an interview. It's my second warning. It expires, I think, in October, like 17th.
We're close.
What would you say?
I said we're so close.
So
Little warning.
this is the second warning. YouTube doesn't like hashtag streammate, hashtag camgirl, hashtag hentai.
Yeah,
They don't like those tags, right?
Like our friends right now.
But they don't necessarily have a problem. And sometimes I get away with it, and sometimes I don't. And that's just what it is. And they don't like certain links either.
Yeah.
So, you know, they don't have a problem with my eBay link. YouTube has no problem with my eBay link. They have no problem with an Instagram link. But, you know, you put up a link that links to a link tree that has no content, they're going to get you.
Yeah, that's why I have a link tree, and it links you to another link tree.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised in which that they don't even like that sometimes. So like it's brutal and it's so complicated because once you enter the adult stage, like you can't go back. And that's part of the problem is that, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
But like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, they don't like that shit.
Yeah.
Facebook doesn't like it either. So, I mean, it's so complicated. And that's why I'm curious how you feel because you're in that space. And, like, I don't know what the fuck you do.
Complain every day to my friends. We all complain together because we're all struggling together. We're like, today I'm banned. Oh, well, today I'm prohibited. I got another warning. Me too. We just have a whole group chat. We're like, well, this happened today on Instagram. Oh, I lost my account and I DM'd them 17 times. It's been 14 emails. It didn't help me. Just girly things. I know. We actively try to find ways to work around it and just make it work because the content can't stop. You can't stop us.
Do you feel that backup accounts are also big now?
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
Because after my Instagram got hacked and it got hacked by somebody in some freaking, you know, country in Africa, which is like I've never heard of. And then apparently like 9 people were on my account. So
I have a whole team.
Like once you get back in, you then find out who's in your account, and oh my god, it's like so. You feel weird in which that like, but I didn't hook up my Instagram to my Facebook for a reason.
That's smart.
Those things are not connected. So that's why people try to hack Instagram accounts to get back door into Facebook, and then they try to run ads off of your Facebook thing, which is crazy. It's crazy.
Yes. It is. So, but Barbie Stuff isn't even my main account. It's my side account. It's just more popular. So y'all wouldn't find. And also my Facebook, I've had since I was 15. There's nothing good on there. Nothing worth hacking. I'm not doing anything good. I barely even post on there. You guys pictures of me saying I heard Justin Bieber on Facebook from like 2012, and that's it. I'm not worth hacking.
They're mine to hack, and they wanted to hack it anyway. Because they probably hack like 50 people at once.
Right. You're not special. Sorry.
There's a million things you could hack of mine. My Instagram is not the thing to hack. There's a million things that are worth way more to hack. And the things that are worth way more to hack, you're not going to be able to get into.
Right.
Because it's just big investment firms. And the cybersecurity on that is not some kid in Nigeria who's 17 to hack it. I don't think Fidelity is going to have a 17-year-old. So easily. Right. I don't think that my 401k is going to be hacked.
No, so, I think you're safe for now.
I think it's going to take a little bit more. Maybe when he's 18, he can handle it. But I digress. But there's some other stuff that you've done, little baby Ashley. I think you tied her up too, which was funny.
Yes, I'm currently. So I'm taking a picture. I'm currently on a journey, or expedition, of tying up all my friends. And so later on next week, I have 2 friends I plan to tie up.
What did they do, and why are you doing it? No.
I'm just really into shibari. I have been since I was 18, and I love an excuse to tie up cuties. I gotta tie them up and trap them. And then yap in their ears. Yap, 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 yap. Torture.
I
But
have,
it's just fun.
I have
It's
nothing to
cute.
say. I just have nothing to say to that. I have nothing to say on a public or professional level to that. I enjoyed the photo of her being tied up. I will state that because
More to come. And the best part is that night we started tying her up at like midnight, 1 a.m. And she fell asleep at 2 a.m. all tied up. It was so adorable. She's just like, I'm like, sweet dreams, Ashley. Mwah.
again, I can't be tied up. I have too many trust issues, which that it would never work. It would never work. And I have no problem admitting that it's not for me. Let's just say we tried and it wasn't gonna work. And that's everything that everyone wants to know. It, it was never gonna work. I have too many trust issues, and then like my biggest fear is if there's a fire, like what the fuck's gonna happen?
I can fix them.
Like, hey, my biggest fear is like I'm tied up and then a fire breaks out. It's like, what the fuck?
And I'll just pick you up, put you over my shoulder, and then I'll carry you out the fire, fireman style.
See, it wouldn't even be.
I have the scissors, the safety scissors.
So many things I could say. So many things I could say. But again, I'm gonna plead the fifth. I'm gonna just plead the fifth. I'm just gonna smile. I understand that everybody wanted to know that I really don't like being tied up. Everybody learned something today. But to each their own. To each their own. But I digress. But and then I do want to talk about Hunt Heavenly Bunny too, because we did a lot of reels with her. And what's kind of the story with that? Because some of that stuff is fun.
Yes. We had an Easter shoot. We were Nezuko and Mitsuri from Demon Slayer. I tied her up, and that was fun. And then on the other end of that, 18 plus part is we smushed eggs together with our feet and with our butts, and that was really fun too. Like the little confetti eggs.
Again, no comment. No comment. Just no comment. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's just me trying to like keep it very simple and brief as possible. I could go into a lot of detail.
You could say whatever you want to say. I mean, I know I'm getting out of this.
I'll tell you later.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. I'm sure of it. I can say so many things in so little time.
Yeah, we have a lot more content planned soon. We just did a burlesque show together. We didn't perform together. We did it together. I love doing reels with her. We're very good friends, and I love her content that she puts out. I think she's amazing. A lot of her cosplays are handmade, and that just has me in awe. And so I'm like, let me be your protege.
And obviously, this stuff gets a lot of attention. It gets views, stuff like that. And then even going further into that, I mean, you just did something with Kevin, the director.
Yes, Kevin.
Guy's all over the place. I mean, he's done stuff with Laminac. He's done stuff with a bunch of people. I think he's done stuff with Daniel Di Nicola.
Yes. So Kevin has been to over 200 cons. And he has all his badges on his wall, and I've seen the badge wall. So I know it's real. And I plan to see him soon for SumiCon in Houston. We have some content planned. So I'm very excited. He's just really fun. He has a good eye. You just got to find him. You just got to find him and book him while you can. And you will have amazing results easily.
Fair enough. Again, I've seen some of the stuff that he's put out. I've seen all of it. It's a lot of content, a lot of videos.
Yes, on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel, guys. And you don't want to see his. You want to see me on YouTube? That's only through Kevin. That's only you're going to see me. And here.
We're streaming on YouTube, and it's going to be cut up, and we're going to be all over the place.
Maybe one day I'll be a VTuber. You'll see me that way. But right here, this is it. This is how you get.
I've interviewed 4 of them, and they're all fun. They're all fun. And, let's just say Sasha Nakamoto, Lilith Fujimoto, and Evie Akashito, and Kaido. So the first three are built on real video game engines, which is sick. It's just so sick.
I would need a whole team. If I was to be a VTuber, I would need a whole team. And yeah.
Those three women that I mentioned first and foremost are built on. So have you played Resident Evil, the remake of 2 and 3?
I haven't, no.
So have you played the remake of 4?
No.
I mean, have you seen it?
Yes. Let me ask you. Yes.
So 2 was sick and was awesome. 3 was great. 4, I didn't know we needed a remake of 4 until I played 4. I just wish you could parry a chainsaw with the trailer was way cooler than the gameplay, because Leon's like fucking like kunaiing the chainsaw, which was just awesome. Brilliant idea for a trailer. But the point is that that's how Sasha, Lilith, and Evie look. Is they're built in the way that Resident Evil 4's real video game engine is, and they're VTubers. It's sick.
Yeah, no, seriously, that sounds really sick.
It's unbelievable, and when you watch those interviews, you're like, what the fuck am I watching? It's mind-boggling in what the fuck you're watching. So because you're like, how is this fucking possible? And it's all motion censored. I mean, the gloves that they use are like $9,000 gloves. Is what it costs just for their hand movements. Just for their hand movements, it's $9,000 worth of gloves.
Yeah, it's a. I'm not there yet. One day, hopefully. But I find it so amazing. It's just like wow.
That's the upper echelon of VTubing. Kaido, which works for Oshi Push and Jap anime games, that is more of a 2D VTuber. 2D with
just
stuff. So which is fine too, because you get the movement, you get the base, you get some hand stuff in there, but it's not a real video game engine,
right?
Because and the price on those two things is massively different.
Yeah.
Those things is a car payment, is buying a new car every month, and the other is a car payment every month. There's a big difference in price. Big difference. There's nothing wrong with either one of them, but I digress. But yeah, VTubing is fun. That's all I'm gonna say on that. So, but yeah, and then since we spoke about Kevin the director, and you're gonna see all that stuff, I do want to talk about your furry bimbo thing.
Yes, I'm in my furry era. Well, I've always been a cat girl. And it's a very slippery slope. It's
funny that you bring that up, because last night I was with my friends and we saw The Cat Returns.
Yes.
So it's funny that you're in your cat girl era, and then that's the only thing I could say. Great movie. I've never seen that movie before. Great movie, but that's funny. But so what is that like though? Because the photo that's in, like the cover for this is you in a bikini on the beach with that on your head.
Yes. When I was in Malibu, and I had I'm like, hope nobody, because I was at a private beach, like a residential private beach in Malibu, and I'm like, hope I don't scare anybody. Hope they don't call the cops on me. But no, I went to my first furry con last year in San Antonio. And I'm like, I like it here. There were so many amazing personas. I saw butterflies and lizards and sloths and spiders and just the craziest options. And I'm like, I didn't even know this was a thing. And recently I learned about the different types of fursuits in the mask. And there's some that are so stinking cute and are anime themed and are detailed and have pretty little lashes and clips. And it's just so cute. It's just so cute.
So how do you feel about Ken Panders?
How
do you feel about Ken Panders?
Who is that? Or what is that?
Ken Panders wrote a bunch of stuff for Sonic the Hedgehog with Archie. And then he like licensed all the characters he created and copyrighted them. And then Archie fired him for it. And he took all of like the original stuff. So they had to like restart. And he basically created like a whole furries, entity by himself. I mean,
that is very interesting too.
It's like, half of Sonic the Hedgehog is furries too. So it's
Earlier today, I saw a Stitch, like the alien furry, and he had like a fuckboy hairstyle. I'm like, why'd you do it to Stitch? Don't do that. But no, there's a lot of like really cool heads and bodies, and they're expensive. They're expensive, but the quality is so nice, and they're always handmade, so it makes sense that they're expensive.
That's crazy. I know nothing about that. I know nothing about furries.
A low end head could be like $400 to $800 just for the head.
Damn.
The fursuit, a basic fursuit, is like $2,000, like very, very basic. And that's not even a full body. Like, furries got money.
I have Solo Darling's tail. She's a wrestler. She would come out with like a foxtail. And I have one of her tails. And she wasn't, and then she had like the cat ears. But she wasn't like a full furry. But I have her tail. And I'm very happy that I have her tail. And I think it's funny. And my dog loves her tail. And I'm like, no, you cannot have it because it's my tail. Your own tail.
Really an artifact. You cannot touch this.
She's a wrestler. So she was selling her tail. And I'm like, oh yeah, I got your tail, by the way, when I saw her last time. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, do you want it back? And she's like, no, it's fine.
It's yours forever. No takesy backsies.
It was like $120. It was worth every penny of it.
Yeah, so no, I love a good tail. I was always wearing the cat ears and the little fake tails in school, and it just kind of like it progressed. It just progresses. And then you move to the tail plugs, and then you buy a furry suit. It's just.
I'm so boring. Like I'm just so boring. Like basically all I do is like all my investing minus even my eBay business. It's boring. Like I just buy things and I sell it. It's not hard. There's nothing sexy about it. It's simple. There's risk involved, but it's boring. Like I don't do anything exciting. Like even when I drink, it's legitimately like a Jack and Coke or a rum and Coke, or it's like a twisted tea. It's so boring. Like I used to have like mix it up with an Irish car bomb every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I can still say that. But like, I'm so boring. Like it's terrible. It's like I'm so predictable and I'm so boring. Like I don't know. Like we're like the complete opposites.
I'm boring too. I'm just good at hiding it. I promise you, I'm boring too.
I'm boring. I'm nice and like just simple. That's the objective. And like I'm not into like furries or doing anything like adult. Like I was just like, okay, cool. Like
I sit in my room and I watch anime with my stuffed animals and I play dress up and then I go outside and do the exact same things. I just found my weirdo friends. We just all happen to be cute and we just do weird shit together and people just let us do it because we're cute. But we're very weird and we're still very boring.
Oh, I'm so boring. I'm so just like basic. The song, like, I Imagine Dragons Thunder. You're basic. Like, oh, I'm so basic. It's just like it's. I keep my life nice and simple, and there we go. So like, but like that furry thing, like I showed my friends that picture too, and they're like, oh, okay, I get it, man. I get it.
So like in the beginning, I was like, I don't really understand this stuff. And then I met a girl and she was very, very, very hot. And she's like, I'm a furry. And I was like, well, I guess they're not that bad after all. And ever since that day, I was like, that's all it took. That's all it took. I'm so serious.
So let me rewind this on how you just said this, okay? I didn't understand it. Then I met a girl. Okay. This is the point where a guy says, "I didn't understand life, and then I met a girl, and then I married her, and now we have two kids together." No, that's not how this story goes. Like
We have two little puppies together.
you just took the whole story, and then you're like, "She's hot," and now and now I get it, and now I'm into furries,
And now I'm a furry too. Yeah, she converted me that quickly.
This story went from okay, if we just took out the pictures here and you told it,
Yes.
and we made your voice a little bit deeper, great. It's gonna be like marriage, kids, happy.
See, because it's a misconception. You know, how people are like, the drug dealer is a guy in a trench coat, and he's like, "You want some drugs?" And it's really not. It's like furries are ugly and weird. They're not. There's a lot of hot furries out there. Oh my! I follow a lot of hot furries.
Again, you're like walking right into it here, and this is the point: is that like this is how it's supposed to go. It's like, so I didn't understand life, and then I met a girl, and then fast forward, the end of the story is that we have a house, a white picket fence, and two kids, and they're smart, and we're the perfect American family. No, that's not the story that you just told.
Or a black or a lab. We have a lab. We have a little dog too.
Yeah, exactly, like a Dalmatian, right? Completely, just that story doesn't exist. Like we're done. Just. Oh my God, there's a joke in here somewhere. There's so many things I could say, and oh my God, just like the complete story has just been thrown out the window.
That's my L'Oreal. Sorry.
I mean, if this was an adult show, this would be a much different question in here with half the things you said. I mean, again, if I didn't have a community warning on YouTube, let's just leave it at that.
Soon we'll do another interview months from now. We'll do a recap, and we can, when you're not on a warning,
No. We need to set up a whole private RSS feed, and because clearly, again though, no, in all seriousness though, I don't know how far I can go and ask questions. So I'm being very conservative, where I'm interviewing Robin Coffin and her wife Serena Havoc, and obviously they're in the adult industry, and we're going to be talking about the film they produced. So I can ask more detailed questions about that. I don't know how far I can go with certain people, so I tend to lean more conservative.
Right, just to be safe.
What did you say?
Yeah, just to be safe. I get it.
Because again, it is the also I'm in a YouTube community strike, and also I don't really. Again, every interview is different, right? And so that's the whole thing, and it's just straight out not to take the veil off and see how the sausage is made, but pull the curtain behind the wizard. But again, there's so many things I could say about that statement about furries. That's just, oh my God, you're just giving me comedy gold out of that.
Yay!
But I digress. But obviously, I do want to back out of your cosplays, and I am curious where you think all this is going, because I'm not in the con scene. I'm not a cosplayer. I'm in the pop culture space.
Right.
I think, my take is that pop culture is actually fractured now. It used to be more united, and I think it's fractured, but I also think it's in a weird hybrid too.
Yeah.
Where I think that pop culture is sports, and there's actually an event that happened where LeBron James is in the finals, and he's like, I'm going to go eat some Cocoa Puffs or Fruity Pebbles and watch some Teen Titans. And like that's what he was doing after the game. He's like, I'm gonna go prep up by watching Teen Titans and eat some Fruity
It's all connected.
And so I think that there's been a shift where now the high school quarterback is into anime.
Yeah, it's very mainstream.
But I also think that not necessarily the person who's watching Star Wars is into anime, or the person who's into comics is into anime. So I think that, so I'm curious how you think about all this, because I think it's interesting where you have other components in, but you also have massive fractures as well. And it's complicated. And also with anime in particular, It used to be that there was like 6 or 7 that you needed to watch, and
Yes.
now there is no 7 that you needed. I mean,
Yeah.
you're probably around my age, right? I'm 31. You're around my age, right? So back in the day, you needed to watch Full Metal Alchemist, Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Bleach, One
And you watch
Piece.
Yu Yu Hakusho, you know.
Gundam Double O was up there, Code Geass, things like that were relatively
the staples. Those were the staples. But now there's like 5 billion animes.
Afro Samurai was another one that you needed to watch. Now you don't have to know anything about DBZ.
You should know. But yeah,
I don't disagree, but there's plenty of new generation anime kids who haven't seen anything with Dragon Ball Z. They might be watching One Piece, but then they're into My Hero Academia.
Yeah, if you're new, you're watching My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, you're watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Hunter x Hunter, like the new one. You know, like, they don't really know the OGs. They don't know the founding fathers.
They don't know something like the Code Geass or Gundam Double O.
They're not OG fans. They missed when it wasn't cool.
So I mean, I'm curious how you feel about all this, because obviously that's a big shift in pop culture, though, because
win and lose.
It's got to be a weird thing in cosplay, because there's the new kids, the old kids, and then there's the hybrid kids.
Yes. So 3 things I want to talk about with this. Prices of cons, because of mainstream, have skyrocketed. That's all I'm going to say. They know their worth, and now they're doing a lot. DreamCon last year, it was $100 for weekend pass. This year they had a drop last week, 7 p.m. on Friday, $175 for weekend pass. That's a big jump from a year. Some cons, $50 a day. Some cons,
but it's not just cons. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna ask a really dumb question. So forgive me for asking the dumb question. Are you, by any chance, interested in the WNBA?
Yes, but I'm not as strongly as I should be. But I'm interested. I do know information.
So the reason why I bring it up is that obviously, I mean, I'm sure you realize that the WNBA is way more popular this year than it was last year.
Yeah, they've been getting their dues lately. They've been getting a lot of attention.
Yeah. So the New York Liberty had 160% increase in attendance. Good. So next year they've raised up their prices by 130%. So 130%, because they're selling out every game. So if you were buying a $25 ticket, you're looking at buying it at $65 now for that same seat. So we look at conventions, and I think and I'm curious how you feel about this, is that $60 is a lot of money. If you raise it up to $80, it's a lot of money, and I'm still paying for a bunch of shit at your con.
Yep.
And this is why I'm so hesitant to jump back in, because I'm like, I can't afford this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm running a business, and I have to make a determination between me and a friend of mine, or my girlfriend, or if my parents are joining me, or my sister, or somebody's joining me, all of a sudden we're looking at $160. And that's not to buy anything. That's just to get into the door.
Right.
And there gets a point where it's like,
I don't want to be anything else.
I don't want to be raked over coals. I'm sick and tired of being nickeled and dimed on money every fucking second. And then, it's just like a voice actor is now charging $60 for an autograph. It's like, you got to be shitting me a brick.
Yeah.
It gets really, really expensive really, really quick. And that's my issue. And so, like, I'm so hesitant to jump back in, because I'm like, this is way too much money for me. Because $1,000 is spent in 2 hours.
Yeah. The weekend cons, and you just hotels, food, badges, like the outfits to travel, like Uber or pay for valet, or just everything. It all adds up. It all adds up so fast.
So, like, I think that there is a problem with cons. I mean, I think that if you charge at the door, and look, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the economics are there, and maybe people are paying
Sometimes it
anyway.
is. Yeah.
Because if they weren't paying, then this wouldn't be in place. So obviously, on a logical level, but I'm getting exhausted from paying for every little thing in life. And I hate to say this, but the economy's not great. I don't care that
Right.
people say, "Oh, we're not in a recession." I think that's bullshit. I think we're in a recession without a doubt.
Yeah.
Inflation is rough. GDP is not where it used to be. Money is way more expensive to get.
Yeah.
The COVID, during COVID, money was cheaper to get. And now it's the idea that money is really expensive. I don't own a house. I'm looking to buy a house when things cool down. But right now, a 7% mortgage rate is off the chain. So like, and people, in houses are off the chain and they're not coming down any fucking time soon. So like, I think life is really, really expensive. And I think $175 for a weekend pass? What the fuck? That's brutal.
But I'm buying it. I'm going. I'm going. But the thing is, some of these cons I get reimbursed if I do guests and stuff, or stipends, or you gotta find ways because I'm not gonna stop going to cons. I realize that, so I gotta what can I do to get in for free?
I've done that with fan panels, and it helps. But even still, it's like
just some money off.
Even if I get $20 off, $40 off, it gets old. And I'm like, it's still fucking expensive. It's still gonna cost me a boatload of money. And even if I get a free ticket or 2 free tickets, it's still fucking expensive. And so, but sorry to cut you off. What was your other 2 points?
Outfits. I forgot the question. I wrote down the word outfits. So I'm gonna go from there.
I know we were talking about where all this stuff is going because that's kind of, I think,
the influx of outfits we're able to get all over. Regular cosplay outfits, companies in general, just people are pushing that out more. I like that. You can type in Amazon, go to Amazon, type in cosplays. It's not gonna be just Ass Ketchum, thing and our Naruto hoodie and a headband, and then the basic, just it'd be the dumbest, not dumb, but the most basic, simple cosplay we have for the same 10 years, Pikachu ears, and then the tail. I'm so glad we have options. We can be the princess from Fairy Tale. We can have props. I love that props are able to be bought online on Etsy, on AliExpress, and all this stuff. I'm glad that it's becoming more normalized. I do not like the influx of anime fans that are disrespectful and don't know their facts. They just be talking. Please shut up and listen. Learn something. Respect your elders.
So that's interesting. So I mean, do you think that? I mean, I'm curious. Do you think that there's a bunch of younger anime fans who don't know what the hell they're doing, or is it?
Yes.
So again, I don't deal with it, right?
Today on Twitter, the topic today is people are saying anime was made for men, even though people voice actors, women, people who made these mangas, women, these producers, women. So Sailor Moon made for men. Sakura Card Capture was made for men. Y'all just be saying stuff. Anime is for men only. Just talking.
So I mean, so that's what's going on Twitter. So
all day, widespread Twitter. That's the topic. Anime is for men.
But that's the thing. I don't fucking pay attention to Twitter anymore. I don't pay attention because it's just an echo chamber.
Brain cells.
I have a life, right? And I don't have free time. I actually work today at my day job, right? So I'm not on Twitter at my day job, and I don't really give a fuck what a bunch of people who are screaming, because most of those people need to, and I'll say they need to get laid. I'll just say it.
No one should be touching them. They don't deserve it.
But I have a troll, and it is what it is, and I'm like, yo, just go get laid, bro.
Yes.
Go find somebody who wants to enjoy you, and
No
hook
one
up.
wants to enjoy them. If you truly think the anime is for men only, you don't deserve friends. Stay to yourself, please. Be a hermit.
But I have a friend who does hot takes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't said anything like that, but he's like, should you not produce your book, or should you not print your book at all, put it on print demand and draw a lot of attention to it? And he said, you should have it on a print demand thing, and instead of printing your book and spending the $3,000 on printing your book, you should spend $3,000 on promoting your book. And he gets a lot of negative attention, and people get pissed off at him, but he's doing a hot take. So
That's the whole point. To get pissed off and get views.
yeah, and then get conversion, or get attention and convert on the anger.
Yeah, he would just be talking to talk sometimes. I do agree.
So, and this is why I don't really I pay attention to actual conversion and actual numbers. So if somebody said anime is only for men, and they had evidence, and they actually made a compelling argument, I'm not saying I would agree or disagree with it. I would look at it and I would say, okay, you know what it is? You're actually presenting an argument, right? Whether I agree with it or I disagree with it is not the point. But if you're just stating it because you're just trying to get people looking at your Twitter,
Yeah,
well, I gotta give you props for that. If some freaking 22-year-old does that,
yeah,
and then gets legitimately 10,000 people liking his shit, and out of that 10,000, he gets 500 new people staying with him for a week on Twitter, and then he monetizes it. I mean,
but they're not doing all that. They're just talking shit.
but there must be a reason why they're doing it, to monetize it on the back end somehow. Because unless you're just talking shit for no good reason, which means you're just wasting space.
They be doing that. It's Twitter.
I get it. I guess I don't do anything for no good reason, is my point. But I digress. I mean, again, but I don't pay attention to Twitter because Twitter's not IRL. It's not real life. Like in real life, like I live here. I don't live on Twitter.
You just gagged me so bad.
What did I do?
I definitely live on Twitter sometimes. I have my phases. When Twitter came out, I was 14, 15, and I had a BlackBerry Curve, and I could text my tweets. I'm locked in. I would never call it X.
Man, you had a BlackBerry when you were 15. I had a flip phone when I was 15. My parents were like, "You got like a flip phone," and then oh my god, just I was not having anything good. I had nothing good.
Stuff too. We didn't start with a BlackBerry. It was definitely a progression.
I didn't get a cell phone until I was like 16. I didn't get a gaming system until I was like 13.
We had, I guess it was the Wii was our first. No, the GameCube. I had a GameCube.
I had a GameCube, and I got one when I was like 13, maybe 12, 13, and like it was what it was, and it was not fun. And it was a lot of fun. The GameCube, don't get me wrong, but like it sucked to the point where I was just like, I don't have shit, man. And I enjoy playing video games, but like there was nothing there, right?
Okay.
So and then my life changed. I mean, I had like a Game Boy Advance, right?
Yes.
That and then I had like a Game Boy SP, and then I had a DS. Like I had all that shit, but like,
okay.
I didn't have a gaming system, and now I have an Xbox that I bought myself. So I love my Xbox, but like I don't even game. It's terrible.
Okay.
I'm a deprived individual. I used to play outside, and I used to read books. It was great. I mean, my parents bought me Love Hina, so that was good. That changed my life. That's a good series too. My parents also bought me Battle Royale, so I'm reading Love Hina I'm like 12, and I'm reading Love Hina, and then I'm reading Battle Royale, legitimately like 6 months later. That's a massive. I'm 12. Okay, I don't think people understand. Yeah, I'm reading about like relationships and, and that circumstance. And I'm literally reading about 42 students killing each other on an island over 3 days.
The range.
It's like the Hunger Games meets a Clockwork Orange meets Lord of the Flies on steroids. Brilliant book, but I digress. I mean, if you haven't read Battle Royale, everybody read it. Just know there's stuff in there that's gonna mess you up.
Thanks for that disclaimer.
It's gonna change your life. But I digress. But again, I cut you off on what you're gonna say. Unless because I think you had a third point too, right?
I don't remember. I think I said it. I just said it's number 3, so it's fine.
Fair enough. And then obviously, I mean, we were talking about cons and all that stuff, but obviously, you're doing Dragon Con. I think I could say that, right? I think that's public knowledge. If it's not, surprise, I guess. So you're going to be in Atlanta tomorrow, I think, is where Dragon Con is at. Hopefully. I mean, it's up in the air.
Yes. I am going to Dragon Con tomorrow. It's going to manifest it.
So, and then you got some other stuff coming on. So obviously, promote yourself. So where can people find you, hit you up, all that fun stuff?
I put a lot of focus in this year on photo shoots with certain people, and right now I'm in my taking a brief month pause from cons. And I will spend next month preparing for 31 days of Halloween. So a cosplay posted each day of October. And so I got to get cracking on these cosplays because it's September, basically today. And once I do that, I really just want to showcase more of my cosplays because next year I'm going to be applying to a lot of cons. And I want them to have that, that resume of like, okay, she's really out here. She's a real cosplayer. And that's really what I want to show. I want to do more events. I do go to events that aren't just conventions. And not just that, I go to cannabis events. I go to tattoo events. I just like to go to cons. I'm at a cabaret, otaku cabaret, that they are panelists for most cons. I performed at DreamCon 2 years in a row, SumiCon in Vegas. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be performing at SumiCon in Houston in October. I just really enjoy what I do. I have a great time, an excuse to dress up and to prance around and be cute. I want to do it. There's a convention in November called Otaku Tattoo Expo. I went for the first time last year. It's fairly new. And I was hired by one of the tattoo booths to be Sailor Moon. Yay! And we went with the girls. I'm gonna be like a cat Sailor Moon, so I'll have shibari rope on my body and then the cat tail and the ears. And I'll be passing out balloons and merch for them. And the payment was they paid for my cosplay and they gave me a free tattoo. And I'm like, I like that. So last night I got my Sailor Moon Psyduck tattoo because clearly I really love Sailor Moon.
That's good. I don't get free shit. At all.
Not yet.
Every once in a while I get free shit. But it is what it is. It hopefully it'll come, but if it doesn't,
it will. It's coming. You have to talk about it.
I don't feel bad for me. It's not a pity party. This is what it is. That whatever's coming my way will come. If it doesn't, so be it. You hope for the best, and it's just life. But I'm gonna be fine either way.
Yes.
I'm gonna be fine either way. So, thank yous though. Thank yous mean a lot. The word thank you can mean a lot because it's a starting point, and it's an unfortunate reality that people don't say thank you.
No, right.
What every con should do for all their free panelists is that they should shoot them an email, said, hey, we really appreciate you presenting. Not even anything else. It could be very generic.
Yeah. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your effort. Thank you for your investment.
Thank you for presenting. We really appreciate it. Cons would not be the same without you. Goes a
Right.
long way. Goes a long way, and it's relatively free. It'll cost somebody about an hour if you have 150 panelists to do that.
Yep.
And when you can't do something that's going to cost you about $20 to do,
Why
you know,
not? Like, hello. This is how you make. This is how you expand. It's worth it, man.
thank yous go a long way. They go a long way because a lot of times in life it's about appreciation and it's not about money.
Yes.
About
Yes.
appreciation and being heard goes a long way. But I digress.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Being heard, being kind. Like, I wouldn't have gotten this gig if I didn't know one of the girls who I'm kind to. We're friends. I got to know her. We worked together professionally, and she thought of me and referred me. I would never have gotten that job if it wasn't for her. Just being a good person, a cool person, someone that's reliable. I have good work ethic. And so I'm just thankful. And I told her last night and before, I'm like, thank you for thinking of me. There's so many girls and you picked me. You didn't have to do that because we're not that close yet.
See, here's the problem is that you get good referrals. I get bad ones. So he's like, oh, Andrew has a podcast, and I got a friend who's doing his new comic book. And I'm like, you're not referring me somebody who's actually useful.
Right.
That's the problem, right? Somebody's referring me somebody who they're helping out with their book, and they're not helping me.
Right.
And you're referring me something that like, yo, I just had somebody on who has like 50,000 Instagram followers, and you're referring me to somebody who has 5.
Yeah.
And that's the problem is that it's like, so my friend John Crofter referred me to Bushwhackers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a good referral, right? If you refer me somebody who's never run a Kickstarter or a brand new cosplay who has 100 people on his 2 cosplays, like, no offense, but like, that's not a good referral.
Yeah. You gotta work towards it. I definitely understand what you're saying.
Oh, it kills me. It just kills me inside. It just because it's like I have to be a dick, and I don't want to be.
Mm-mm.
I hate being a dick, but I have to be, and it sucks.
But also, they should know what you're looking for and how they can actually help you. Like they like.
But that's the thing, they don't, because what they're doing is that they're trying to help themselves.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is that they're trying to help themselves because they have some stake in the person they're referring me to. And that's the issue. And that's what happens is that they're not trying to help me. They're helping themselves. And that's and you can smell it a mile out. I know when somebody is genuinely trying to help me, and I know when somebody is genuinely trying to help themselves.
Yeah.
I digress. But where can people find you on social media?
Okay. On Instagram, I have 3 main accounts. There is Barbie Sub, Barbie SUB. There is Barbie Dom, but Barbie DOMME. And then there's Furry Bimbo. Twitter is very much 18 plus, but it's Barbie Sub Life, but the life is spelled LYF. That's it. That's all. Just keep it simple. Y'all don't need the Reddit. We're not there yet.
Fair enough. And we've been speaking for a while, and I'm just going to say it again. You have to support people that you enjoy seeing their content being made. And supporting people includes a lot of things. If they have merch, they're at conventions, they got a Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, whatever they got one of those.
Even just sharing our content all the time.
Yeah, we're getting there. You know, that's a big thing. Merch is a big thing. Following people on social media is a huge thing. They have an OnlyFans. That's a new thing. Loyal fans, many vids, the whole shebang there. That's a big thing also. And then if I didn't say it, I'm gonna say it again. Following somebody on Twitter /X, Instagram, Facebook pages, YouTube pages goes a long way, and a lot of that is free. And also commenting or liking or sharing.
Just nice video. Send.
Instagram, it's a click of a heart. Goes a long way. You know, YouTube is a click of a thumbnail. Goes a long way. It's a subscription. It's not that hard, and it's free. And if you don't like what somebody's pushing out there, you could always unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Goes
or just
a long
way. Don't unsubscribe. Just don't look.
You could do that too, or you could just watch somebody's video or comment, whatever you want to do. that's fine. It goes a long way. And then as far as I'm concerned, obviously all my social media is Pop Anime Comics on Twitter/X, Pop Anime Comics on the Instagram, Pop Anime Comics on Facebook. I have several Facebook groups that I run. I have Indie Comic Connect. If you're into comics and you want to connect with people in there, shows, comics, all sorts of stuff. We got like 500-600 members now, and we're growing every day. And it's a really cool place to promote what you got to promote. So you could definitely do stuff there. And then I have TikTok, which is Pop Anime Comics, which I thoroughly enjoy. Put up a lot of content there. YouTube, if I don't already say it, is Pop Anime Comics. Please subscribe there. And then I do run an eBay store. Look for comics and collectibles. Come shop with us on eBay at Pop Anime Comics Collectibles. That's my store. And I carry cool cards like this, which is a base relic at Rickwood, which was played earlier this year. And that 24 is for Willie Mays, which is really cool. So definitely cool right there. This is a game-used base from the game that they played at Rickwood Field, which is one of the oldest Negro League stadiums that's still in existence, which is awesome in baseball. And they finally are recognizing them in that regard. I also carry books like this and like this in my store. I carry stuff like this. I have all 15 of these in hollow foil.
We love her.
I have all 15 of them. So I have the whole print run of that book in hollow foil because I did buy the whole print run. And I bought the whole print run of this one too. Yeah. So, and they're not up for sale yet because I don't need to have them. And when I want to sell them, everybody will know. And I'm definitely going to be asking real money for this one. I'm going to be asking about 90 to 120 on this one. And I'm probably going to ask 80 to 120. So definitely, I want to make my money on this. And again, I will match anybody's price point. But the problem is that nobody's going to have the ability to match it because I have all 15. So there you go. What? I was allowed to buy all 15. Everybody else could have bought all 15.
That is true. You snooze, you lose.
Second it came up, I bought them. So anyway, that's everything that I got going on. And I am selling hats on eBay as well right now. And I have a very, very expensive hat set that is on eBay right now. And yeah, so I got a lot of cool shit on my eBay store. And I've said it before that I have a lot of merch. If you don't see what you're looking for, ask me because I might have it. And if I don't have it, chances are I know somebody who does. And I'm more than happy to put you in contact. And I've done it for plenty of people because my theory is that if I hook you up and help you out, you're probably going to come back to me for something when you need something. Right. And I want to get people what they want. And if I can't help you, I know who can. It's been a philosophy of mine. And there we are. So that's everything that I got going on. And I'm going to give you the final word.
Yeehaw!
Well, I think that's a wrap, everybody.